Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. Alright, so it's time for another Pure Fiction gameplay video. This time around, if you have any damage over time or D.O.T characters, your run shouldn't be that hard since the buff does benefit you greatly. You take reduced damage and you also deal increased damage to the opponents. So if you have either Black Swan or Kafka, you should be good to go. Luckily, I have both of them. Therefore, the first half of Pure Fiction was an absolute joke for me. I mean, my Black Swan and Kafka, you'll see later, aren't even built that well. Anyways, for the first half, I used Black Swan, Kafka, Tang Young, and Fu Xuan. As for the buff, I chose the first one for when enemy takes D.O.T, adjacent targets also take D.O.T of the same type by an amount equal to 60% of the original damage dealt. So with both Kafka and Black Swan, you can imagine that's a lot of extra damage. For the second half, I have Pella, Ruan, Imbibitor Lunane, and the Fire Trailblazer. As for the buff, I chose the second one because this team does not have any D.O.T, and this season of Pure Fiction greatly focuses on D.O.T. So the second one, after allies attack enemies, inflicts wind shear on the target, causing the target to take a set amount of wind D.O.T at the start of every turn. This helped out a little bit. All the other ones would not have benefited me since, like I said, my team doesn't have any D.O.T other than the Fire Trailblazer's Fire Break, which is not really consistent. So if you guys are using teams that don't have a consistent amount of D.O.T or damage over time, I would probably recommend the second choice. And as usual, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. Okay, so for the first half, we'll use Black Swan's technique, followed by two Tang Young techniques, Fu Xuan's technique, and then we're going to initiate the fight with Kafka's technique. Full use of our technique points. Gonna spam the 3 key here to try and get Tang Young's ultimate off before it's her turn. I chose Black Swan as a target since I believe the majority of the damage is going to be coming from her special D.O.T. I forgot what the name is or whatnot. But I believe she's the better choice over Kafka because, like I said, her D.O.T. is definitely going to be stronger than Kafka's shock. And Kafka is going to be dealing the majority of her damage through detonating Black Swan's D.O.T. As you can see, everything's literally just dying here left and right. Gonna detonate the main target right there. It's already almost dead, or she's already almost dead. Here we go for the basic attack because I need... Well, I don't need the skill point, but I predict that I'll need a skill point later to refresh Fu Xuan's Matrix. And not quite yet, but there's really no need for Black Swan to use her skill yet. All the mobs are pretty much almost dead, so it'd kind of be a waste of a skill point regardless. And then on the next wave, here I decide to pop Kafka's ultimate. Should do a fair amount of damage even though there isn't much D.O.T. Just a raw damage output or the flat damage is able to burst through all the trash mobs.
May as well kill them all.
Target the Trotter here. Alright. Now we're going to use Black Swan's skill instead of her basic attack because the targets are mostly full HP and we want the extra AoE damage along with the defense break and the additional D.O.T. Here we refresh the Matrix on Fu Xuan and pop her ultimate. We're going to save Black Swan's ultimate because these mobs are... Actually, I think I should pop it here. I think I choose not to, however. As we let the D.O.Ts tick and they all die. Okay, maybe it was not a good idea to ult there. So instead we ult now with Black Swan's ultimate. We get lucky. Actually not lucky, that's Fu Xuan's what do you call it, Matrix protecting us from getting frozen. You'll see later on that's not going to be the case as he gets multiple turns due to him getting advance forward from the D.O.T buff. Alright, more detonating fish. Really good. We pop Tang Young's ultimate and use it on Black Swan. Here's the ultimate. Debatable whether I should have saved it. No, I think it's fine. Fu Xuan uses up one of her heals. I think I choose the Knight here on the side, just so we get Kafka's follow-up attack for the shock. We're gonna buff Black Swan. Actually, no, we're not, because I need the skill point for Kafka. That's upcoming. She's gonna have her turn coming up. But unfortunately, she gets wait for it. She gets frozen here. So okay, yeah, unlucky. Sometimes RNG just isn't on your side. Yeah, so Kafka missed her turn, unfortunately. That means Black Swan gets to use her skill instead. I'm targeting Yang Qing here. I don't think it's actually a smart idea to do that, because you can't actually kill the boss mob on the last wave. You have to clear out all the other trash mobs before the boss can be killed. But none of the other targets were really good choices, as they were all almost dead. And I wanted to chip down on Yang Qing's weakness break bar, so eventually we would get that weakness break on him. But yeah, you definitely do not want to be focusing Yang Qing if you have the option to, because you won't be able to kill him until all the trash mobs are actually dead. Alright, he's going to send a giant sword and do quite a bit of damage. If we didn't have Fu Xuan's Matrix up, I'm pretty sure Black Swan and Kafka might have died there.
Stand still.
Smack onto Kafka. We got to buff up Black Swan with Tang Young. Not quite enough energy, unfortunately. Here, we're going to detonate. I'm not sure why yeah, okay. I was about to say, targeting Yang Qing here is a bad idea, since we can weakness break him without even targeting him. Here's Tang Young's ultimate onto Black Swan. Still a little bit short as well. We're just going to basic attack. We don't have the skill point, unfortunately. Here I panicked. I should have Fu Xuan ulted instead of Black Swan ult. But yeah, like I said, I panicked, because they were all almost dead. If I used Fu Xuan's ultimate, I would have been able to clean them up. So I should have went Fu Xuan ultimate into Black Swan ultimate into Kafka ultimate. But like I said, panicked and probably fat fingered the one key as well. Alright, there's Kafka's. Oh, boom! Everything's dying. And I believe these are the last two mobs. Yang Qing's almost dead, but that doesn't matter. I still have to clear off the other two mobs. You'll see here shortly, I actually end up killing him before the two mobs, but he becomes immortal, essentially. You'll see. You'll see what happens. Refresh the Matrix. Here, not really any other targets. You can see, he's immortal, but when they all die, he ends up dying. And that's the first half. Full clear. Alright, second half. Ruan Mei technique into Fire Trailblazer technique, and we're going to start the fight off with Pella's technique for the defense break. Second half didn't do amazingly well. I mean, it doesn't really matter. As long as I clear out the first two waves, we're pretty much guaranteed 3 stars for the stage. And I could have attempted to try and get 30k and above for the second half, but this time around I said to myself, nah, I'm just going to be chill. We're just going to take 3 stars and not do like 10 more attempts trying to get like 30k on the second half. That's just ridiculous. Anyways, back to the fight. Here, Fire Trailblazer is going to ult to generate his shield for the team, and then we're going to go into Imbiber Lunane's ultimate. Pella's ultimate for the defense break and additional damage. Trying to choose a target here. They're all pretty low. I decided to cancel and just go for the level 2 enhanced basic attack. Makes sense. They were all pretty low. Using the level 3 enhanced basic attack was pretty much overkill. Trying to pick a target here for Pella. Doesn't really matter, honestly. Choose the one to the right and weakness break him. Choose the one next to it. Fire break it. Since we're max on skill points, I said to myself, I just use the level 3 enhanced basic attack. Might be a little bit overkill, but it's fine. Here we go for the skill just to finish off the mob. And then immediately pop Pella's ultimate onto the second wave. Refresh whatever that thing is called that Ruan Mei has. Here we're going to pick a target for the Blast Cone from the Fire Trailblazer. Go for a level 2 basic attack, or enhanced basic attack, into Lunane's ultimate. Here I'm deciding, should I use the level 2 or level 3? Since Ruan already refreshed her little buff, I decided just let's go for a level 3 enhanced basic attack. More damage, more energy regeneration. I'm gonna focus down the Trotter here so he doesn't try and escape. Pop Ruan-Mei's ultimate. Gonna refresh the shields on everyone with Fire Trailblazer's ultimate. Does quite a bit of damage, 54k on a fire break. And now we have an enhanced basic attack here. We're gonna fire break again. As you can see, the wind shear along with the burn D.O.T is quite a bit of damage. It's not as crazy as the first half, obviously, but it does add up. We decided to go for level 3 enhanced basic attack, just to finish them off here. We go for a Pella ultimate, also just to finish off the last 2 mobs. They died at D.O.T, and the last wave. We already hit 60k, so that is 3 stars. At this point, it's just icing on top of the cake. I mean, we only have 1 cycle left, so don't expect anything too amazing. I actually think I got quite lucky and did pretty well, considering I only have 1 cycle left on this particular wave. Alright, Lunane's ultimate. That shield to the right is the most annoying one, because it generates like a damage mitigation shield for everyone on the enemy team. So if you guys had the option to pick one of the sword or shields to target, I would definitely target that one. It's the fat one to the right. You'll see here shortly, it generates a barrier that mitigates 1 instance of damage. So it will kind of make your run, it'll make you score a lot less than you would normally would if you let that thing live. So there's Ruan-Mei's ultimate. It's gonna buff everyone and speed them up. That is quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, Fire Trailblazer does not tank or mitigate damage as well as Fu Xuan, for obvious reasons, but he does get the job done, particularly for Pure Fiction. I mean, and he also dishes out quite a bit of damage himself. I really love the way that they reintroduced other characters that are more viable in Pure Fiction, like Herda, Himiko, Fire Trailblazer makes a return. Heck, even March 7th is pretty solid in, what do you call it, Pure Fiction, if you build her in a specific way. Alright, level 2 enhanced basic attack. We're out of skill points anyways. Not quite enough for the ultimate here. And just a little bit short of energy, unfortunately. Maybe I should have run a energy regeneration rope for this particular game mode for Pure Fiction. I did it last time, but it didn't do too well either. That's why I ended up benching my Enviro Lunane the last time I did Pure Fiction. Alright, here's the ultimate from Lunane. We got lucky that Argenti decided to target him. Or it might have been an AoE, I wasn't paying attention. It probably was an AoE. Level 3 enhanced basic attack. Clears off the 2 side mobs to the right. The damage is adding up. Lunane's almost dead. We get a emergency ultimate from the Fire Trailblazer to refresh the shields, as well as deal some damage to him. There we go. There's shields detonating left and right. Not bad. And with this, Lunane dies, unfortunately, but it's the end of the run regardless. And there you go, 68k, not too bad. Okay, as usual, let me go over my characters and their build, starting off with my recently built Black Swan. These are her stats. Definitely not the most well-built Black Swan, but this is what I could do, or the best I could do with the time I got. What can I say? Relic grinding is absolutely fun. As for the Lycon, we're using Eyes of the Prey. I was lucky enough to get it at Super Imposition level 3, so that she can definitely get more break effect, or not break effect, effect hit rate in the future. She needs 120 to max out the amount of bonus damage you get from her traces. Speaking of traces, here they are. They're all level 8 for now, but eventually I'm going to max out her talent. I believe that's where the majority of her damage is. Also going to get this node and this node, but for now I'm trying to save on, Trailblaze power. We're going to wait until the double drop event before we continue to finish and max out our Black Swan. These are her relics. I managed to scuffly scrap together a 4-piece prisoner in the deep confinement set. This piece is okay. I kind of wish it went into effect hit rate a little bit more. This one's alright as well. Actually, this one's pretty good. It's missing effect hit rate, but I mean, it's got a lot of speed. Decent amount of attack. That's not a lot, but good amount of break effect. I mean, it's good enough for now. Can't really complain. Chest piece, I have it marked as trash because this is the best I can do for now. Obviously, I can do much better, but I mean, I can't be a picky person at the moment, as if I am, I won't be able to even gear her. Boots, wind orb, just the temporary wind orb on a broken set. I believe she's on a broken set, so there you go. Got a lot of work to put on my Black Swan. Eidolons, she does not have any Eidolons. Alright, next is my Kafka, who is also pretty scuffed, but, I mean, like I said, working on it. You have no idea how hard it is to actually build characters to their maximum potential as a free-to-play. If you bought the Battle Pass, or even have, well, the, the Express Pass that gives you Stellar J doesn't really help, but if you have the Battle Pass, you don't understand how much of a benefit you guys have. You get so many extra resources when it comes to traces and even like additional fuel for you guys to grind. As for Light Cone, she's on the Sweaty Light Cone Super Imposition level 1. Eventually I will build a Nihility Light Cone specifically for Kafka, but for now she's just going to be using this, and half the time it doesn't even land because she doesn't have enough effect hit rate. Traces are pretty high up there. I need to max out her skill. I think her talent is fine, and then I can get additional effect hit rate, which you'll probably need later on. As for relics, she is also on the 4-piece prisoner in deep confinement set. These are her pieces. Her pieces are, I'd say, much better. This one, not really. I just happen to have this piece. I mean, if you look at the stats, she doesn't need the crit rate or crit damage, but I could always move this on to someone that needs a 2-piece attack set, and I could just do a 2-piece of this, and maybe a 2-piece elemental or speed set. So overall, like, I'm not mad that this piece rolled this way. It's just that it's not specifically great on Kafka. But other than that, the rest of her gear is pretty solid. This one's pretty solid. It completely dodged down crit damage. This one is okay. I marked it. Actually, this one's not that great either. I marked it as trash, so probably looking for something better in the future. Speed boots. These are actually cracked for any DPS. Kafka can use these. It's just that, I mean, it's a decent amount of attack. I would have preferred if it had effect hit rate or break effect as 2 other substats, but yeah, these are pretty cracked boots as well for any general DPS. Currently just using a temporary planar sphere and link rope, so there you go. Gotta work on both her and Black Swans. As for Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, next is my Tang Young. Not much has changed. These are her stats. Lycone is Dance 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 at Super Imposition level 2. Traces are the same. I may or may not work on them on the double trace drop event. We'll see. Here are her relics, 4-piece speed set. And a 2-piece broken keel set, which didn't really benefit this particular team, but it's really good when I pair her with Imbibed Lunane or Zile. As for Eidolons, she's finally at Eidolon 3. If I can pull more copies of her in the future, that would be great. I can't believe my Tang Young was at E0 for like probably half a year. Alright, it's Fu Xuan's turn. These are her stats. I did re-gear her a bit to be sort of a sub-DPS, quote-unquote. You can tell by the crit rate and crit damage. I don't really think it made that much of a difference. The amount of damage she did was probably negligible, but she still kept the team alive, so that's fine. Her Lycone is day 1 of my new life. Sometimes I give her Japard's Lycone instead. I swap it between the two tanks, honestly, because they're both pretty good preservation icons, regardless. These are traces. I might work on them in the future. We'll see. But yeah, they're pretty low invested, in my opinion. Okay, so for her relics, I gave her the 4-piece Longevous Disciple set. Usually I run a 2-piece of this with a 2-piece speed, or in the future I want to do a 2-piece HP and 2-piece defense set, but I currently don't have any good defense set pieces, or they're all being taken up by someone like Japard or the Fire Trailblazer. So here are her relics. Like I said, I geared her mostly. I even have a crit damage headpiece, Omega Law. Yeah, so I kind of geared her as like a quote-unquote sub-DPS. I guess it sort of helped a little bit. As for Eidolons, she does not have any Eidolons. Alright, next is my sub-DPS Pela. Yep, I re-geared my Pela as a sub-DPS as well. You generally want to do that in Pure Fiction because survivability isn't the most important thing. In fact, some people who can full clear or do a bunch of damage, they don't even bring a support or defensive supporting sustaining character. As for her Lycone, I gave her before the tutorial mission starts. I ripped it off of my Silver Wolf, unfortunately, but Pela uses it pretty much just as well, if not better. Traces, fairly uninvested. I didn't want to put any more points into it, even though I built her as a sub DPS for this particular game mode. It's just not worth the extra resources. Relics, I put her on a 4-piece Musketeer set and a 2 broken piece set. Just a broken set for her, the planar ornaments. Yeah, mostly focused on crit rate and speed. Gave her a ice damage boost, planar sphere, and a attack percent link rope. As for Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 4. Alright, it's Ruan May's turn. These are her stats. She's mostly unchanged. If you guys seen my Ruan May before, it's pretty much the same thing. Light Cone is Memories of the Past, Superimposition level 1. Once I even get 1 or 2 copies of this Light Cone, she'll be at the optimal break effect percentage that I want. Traces, fairly low investment. I might max out a few of her, I believe, probably her ultimate and maybe her skill and talent. I'm not exactly sure, but right now I think at level 8 it's a pretty good enough investment for now. For relics, she's running a 4-piece speed set with a 2-piece broken keel set. As for Eidolons, she does not have any Eidolons. Okay, next is my Imbibitor Lunane. Normally he's the one that carries me in terms of Memory of Chaos, but this time around he's the one that got carried by both Kafka and Black Swan. These are his stats. Light Cone he's using on the Fall of Neon, Superimposition level 5. Traces are completely maxed out. Relics 2-piece Imaginary and 2-piece Musketeer with a Rutilant Arena 2-piece set. Also, you might notice here very shortly that I changed his boots from an attack percent boot to speed boots. I figured the extra speed would actually benefit him for Pure Fiction since he does not need to dish out as much damage as possible. He just simply needs to deal just enough damage to clear out the mobs and then do a reset with his ultimate and advance forward again. So giving him more cycles is definitely a benefit. Might have been a good idea to also change the link rope to energy regeneration, although I don't think I have a very good damage dealing energy regeneration link rope for this particular set, so his damage output might have been a little bit too low if I'd done that, so never mind. I think I made the right choice. As for Eidolons, you guys should already know he's at Eidolon 2. Alright, and then last but definitely not least is the Fire Trailblazer. These are his stats. Light Cone is Japard's Light Cone Moment of Victory at Superimposition level 1. Traces are fairly low investment since I was using him before as just a pure tank and support. I did not really want to put more investment in him just so he could deal more damage in this particular game mode. In fact, I think he deals a fair amount already. For his relics, he's running a 2-piece defense and 2-piece speed set along with a 2-piece broken keel set. And I gave him an ER rope so he could cast his ultimate more often. As for Eidolons, he's at Eidolon 6. You get these Eidolons for free, so there should be no reason why you guys don't have your Fire Trailblazer at Eidolon 6. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for this Honkai Star Rail video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next Honkai Star Rail video. Peace.